All right, guys, so today's lesson is about body paragraphs and how to go from this, your graphic organizer, to then over to a body paragraph. So I'm going to model body paragraph number 1, and then you're going to uh, attempt and try body paragraph number 2, and then we're going to come back together and hopefully be able to build a body paragraph number 3. So today, I'm going to go back over my graphic organizer that you've already done. So I said my first one was I had needed to cover the steps. And step 1 was he had to come up with a solution to a problem. And that's my main idea. So my short answer will be that. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And then my information or my cited evidence was the sentence on using pieces from a Lego set. And then I had 5 sentences for my explanation, and I'm going to go over those before I begin. I'm going to make sure that I understand. So it was a smart solution because a Braille printer costs a lot of money. And how did he know that? Because he researched on how blind people read. He started his company, Braille Go Labs, and his company then created an affordable printer or Braille printer. I might add that in. And then he was giving a context. He was a determined young man by using his hobby. I'm going to add this in too, to then create a solution to a problem. So that's going to be my evidence or my explanation. And I'm going to then now put this in words in paragraph form. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is look at the body paragraph, and I have it over here. So body paragraph number 1. So I'm going to start with my short answer, and I'm going to combine that, remember, with your cited evidence. So all right, guys, so now that I have looked at my article and written my sentence for my article, I am now going to start building my paragraph. So I'm going to look at, I know that my short answer or my main idea is going to be a solution to a problem. And so I'm going to start with a sentence. I'm going to 2 finger spaces. I'm going to start with a sentence that describes this. But I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to I know that in my introduction, I'm probably going to introduce who Shabaham is and what he did. So I'm going to use my solution to a problem as my short answer. So in the article, comma, excuse me, I'm going to take that comma out. In the article, it states, comma now, using pieces from a Lego set, Shabaham, and I'm making sure that his name is capitalized because he's a proper noun, created a cheap Braille printer for his school science fair. Period, and then close my quotation marks. So I'm going to be looking at this, but I know that because this is what I'm saying, that's not the end of my sentence. And we've talked about this many times. This is where I need my short answer. And so my short answer goes back to my main idea. So in the article it states, right, that using pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and start with this. In the article it states, Shabaham created I'm going to put practical solution for an expensive problem. And that then would be the end of my sentence. So in the article it states, and I could even take Shabaham out and actually put he, because he is actually in my citing of my evidence. So I could take that out and put In the article, it states he created a practical solution for an expensive problem. So I'm going to make sure I have all my pieces. I have my tag. I did not put my title of the article because we're going to start citing that at the end now, because we're going to be using multiple passages, so we don't have to really worry about that. And then I have my cited evidence, my quotation marks, and then I have my short answer here. Okay, now I've done that part, so I've used my A, I've used my C, and now I'm to the E. Okay, so now I'm going to go and look at my sentences. So my first topic was smart solution because of the Braille printer costs a lot of money. So I could put this middle schooler, or the middle schooler, created a smart solution. Because Braille printers cost, and I know that if we went back to the article, I'm pretty sure they were around $2,000, but I'm going to cost a lot of money. I could be more specific, and you can if you want to. Cost around $2,000. Today's current price, whatever you want to put, but I'm going to just go ahead and put a lot of money, and I can go back and add that in my editing at the end if I don't use it anywhere else. He created this solution by doing some research. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into a little bit more on that. So I'm going to say his dad challenged him to Google the answer to the question, put a comma, how do blind people read? Okay. Now, this begs to the understanding. His dad challenged him to Google the answer to the question, how do blind people read? Now, you would think that we would put a question mark on the end of that, and I guess that's something we probably need to look up and think about it. So he created the solution by doing some research. His dad challenged him to Google the answer to the question, and we put a comma there, how do blind people read? So probably putting that question mark on the end because we have this comma here that kind of separates that. So we'll go back and look at it, though, certainly, make sure that that's correct at the end. But we're going to keep going. So it says, started his company. So we're going to put this led him to start. And I'm going to go ahead and put his name of his company, Braille Labs. Braille Labs. Start. Ooh, maybe I should put his company. This led him to start a company called Braille Labs. I like that better. And I'm going to go down to this next line, even though it would be the same because I did use this space. I'm going to mark that there so that you know that I used that space. And then created an affordable Braille printer. So I'm going to use that. So his company created an affordable Braille printer out of Legos. Okay, and my last one was I wanted to bring in that character trait of the determined young man. So this hobby and problem created not only a solution but a determined, but also, let me fix this, created a determined young man. Okay, so that would be a way that I could actually lead into my next one, my next body paragraph. But it's going to be your turn next. So you're going to take what we've done in body paragraph number 2, and you're going to do the same thing I did here, but for body paragraph number 2. Okay, so this really is going to be a guide. You can see that already, just this body paragraph is already, a good distance. I have 5 sentences for my explanation, and that's what I'm going to go back and do is kind of look at it, make sure. So I have my sentence here, and then I have 1. There's my 1, my 2, my 3, my 4, my 5. I actually have 6 sentences, so that really, really looks good as a body paragraph and an explanation. So I've taken each one of those statements that we created earlier, each one of these explanation statements, and then put it into a body paragraph. So that is what you're going to do with step number 2. You're going to look at the step and the money from Intel. You're going to use those sentences we've created already and create a second body paragraph. And then we're going to, if you have time, then you're going to go ahead and do the third body paragraph as well. And we'll be checking those in class when you're done. Okay? All right. Good luck.